to Anirux channel. I'm your host Allegra DX. And in this video I will tell you interesting facts about bees. Number 1. Bees are vegetarians. Flowers provide everything that a bee would ever need for nutrition: pollen and nectar. Bees, however, have particular preferences for the pollen they gather. Polylectic bees collect pollen from a large variety of flowers. Oligolectic bees consume pollen with certain peculiarities, like flowers from a certain family or of a certain color. This restricts them to a smaller range of flowers to feed on. Bees forage for food only during daylight, but continuously remain active in the hive. They stay close to home and forage within a 3-kilometer radius around the hive. When resources are scarce, honeybees fly distances of 8 to 13 kilometers to search for food or water. Number 2. Honeybees are not the only bees. The honeybee, Apis mellifera, is the most popular type of bee, but there are many other types. We also called it the domestic honeybee, Western honeybee, or European honeybee. There are about 26 subspecies of the Apis genus of honeybees. World Honeybee Day celebrates, you guessed it, the honeybee every year on the 20th of May. Bumblebees are another type of bee. And there are thousands of fly-like and wasp-like bees. The Apis mellifera is native to Africa, Asia, and Europe. But in the 17th century, humans introduced them to other places, and now you can find them almost anywhere in the world. Honeybees prefer habitats with abundant flowering plants, such as gardens, meadows, and open wooded areas. Bees can also survive in deserts, wetlands, and grasslands. Number 3. Not all bees live in colonies. People think of bees and picture swarms and colonies, but honeybees are the only social species of bees that live in large colonies. Other types of bees don't live together in any way, not even in small families. The bee superfamily is solitary bees, and is not social. They live in nests, built with chimneys or turrets at the entrance. Honeybees and bumblebees are social insects, and they live in caste societies, called colonies. Number 4. Bees are nature's most economical builders. In 36 BCE, Marcus Terentius Varro argued that honeycombs were the most practical structures around. Centuries later, Greek mathematician Pappus solidified the honeycomb conjecture by making the same claim. Almost 2,000 years later, American mathematician Thomas Hales wrote a mathematical proof showing that, of all the possible structures, honeycombs use the least amount of wax. And not only are honeycombs the most efficient structures in nature, the walls meet at a precise 120-degree angle, a perfect hexagon. Number 5. Bees provide food and cosmetics. The bee is the only insect that makes food that humans can eat. Honey. Worker foragers collect nectar from about 2 million flowers just to make 1 pound of honey. The average worker produces 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her lifetime. Apart from honey, we get beeswax, propolis, pollen, and even bee milk, which are used for cosmetics and homemade remedies. Some researchers suggest that the venom of honeybees may have medicinal value in treating inflammation or autoimmune diseases. Number 6. A bee's diet consists of honey and pollen. Honey and pollen are the building blocks of a bee's diet. Bees eat honey because it provides them with energy-laden carbohydrates, while pollen's protein provides bees with essential amino acids. Honeybees collect pollen and nectar from a variety of flowering plants, including milkweed, dandelions, clover, goldenrod, and a variety of fruit trees. Only workers forage for food, consuming as much nectar from each flower as they can. After foraging, worker honeybees return to the hive and pass the collected nectar to another worker. This worker holds the nectar on her tongue until the liquid evaporates, creating honey. The honey is then stored in a cell within the hive. Number 7. Bees have 5 eyes. If you've ever been brave enough to get up close to a bee, you may have noticed 3 black dots on the top of its head. These are eyes, as well as 2 large eyes either side of its head. A bee has 3 simple or ocelli eyes on the top of its head. These detect light, but not shapes, meaning that a bee can sense if it is being approached from above by a predator. The 2 large eyes, either side of its head, are made up of lots of tiny lenses that each piece together a wider image of what the bee can see. This is known as a compound eye. They specialize in seeing patterns, which can help identify plant types and other bees. Number 8. They have surprisingly smelly feet. Scientists from the University of Bristol have discovered that bumblebees have the ability to use their smelly footprints to distinguish between their own scent, the scent of a relative, and the scent of a stranger. This means they can improve their success in finding food and avoid flowers that already have been visited. Richard Pierce from the School of Biological Sciences led the study alongside colleagues Dr. Sean Renz and Dr. Luca Giorgioli. He said, bumblebees secrete a substance whenever they touch their feet to a surface, much like us leaving fingerprints on whatever we touch. Number 9. Bees heat and cool their own hive to keep it between 93 and 95 degrees year-round. Bees are cold-blooded and must keep their hive at a constant temperature. In cold weather, bees keep the hive warm by swarming together to generate body heat and by sealing cracks in the hive with propolis. In warm weather, the bees collect water and line up in a circle around the hive entrance. Using their wings, the bees fan the water so that it evaporates into the air. They then fan the cool air so that it circulates around the hive as a sort of central air conditioning. Number 10. The bee population is in decline. Pollution, pesticide, and pollution created by humans have resulted in declining bee populations across the world. Beekeepers reported over a 45% loss in their colonies in 2021. As bees pollinate large amounts of the flowers that result in our food crops, the Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that if the trend continues, we could find ourselves without many of the fruits, nuts, and other food crops we've become used to. As such, global efforts have begun to help protect bee populations from further damage. At home, we can play a role in helping by planting for the bees.